Howdy. This is Zach Mana Symbol Ryle here to talk a little bit about the Indomitable Creativity deck and my run in the Saturday challenge that I won. I was not expecting to win it, but we're going to have to go over the first four matches in the sort of replay in the client here. I didn't record them locally. I should have. In the future, I might do that. I just honestly wasn't expecting to win the challenge. I did not stream the first four rounds because, as I mentioned, Saturday has become very, very busy for competitive modern streamers. Yellow Hat, Aspiring Spike, Doomway, Canister, Demonic Tutors, and more. All people, all streaming the challenge. And with the way my Twitch stream is right now, I'm just trying to keep my average viewership as high as possible. I figured if I make a deep enough run in the tournament, then I'll go live, which is what I did. So we're going to have to watch the first four rounds in the replay client here, as I mentioned. Anyway, this is all going to be talked about in much better explicit depth in a document that I'm working on as a living sideboard guide. If you see this on YouTube, just scroll down to that and check out that link, and that should have a much more exhaustive discussion of all the archetypes. I may make a video version of that in the future. So let's get to the matches. So I'll save most of that kind of discussion for that video and that document. So here we are, beginning of my day, round one against Crazy Baloth. Had no idea what I was up against. Here we see them lead on Ignoble Hierarch. My guess at this point would probably be Black Ring Yawgmoth, and that's going to be correct. Made the decision to shock in for Hard Evidence here. I think the reason that was important is just that I wanted to start playing to the board and defending myself in case of a lot of their deck's strength comes from having their combo plan as well as pressuring you with early beatdown creatures. Now, obviously, Crab Token would not be super useful against Ignoble Hierarch plus Strangleroot Geist, which is very likely to happen. But if they get two Strangleroot Geists, all of a sudden they can only attack for 3 instead of 4. Every life point matters. Getting the Crab Token and the Clue Token into play early on is good. And then if they, for whatever reason, if they don't have Strangleroot, if they have a Young Wolf instead or something like that, and like a Wall of Roots, then you've set up something in the way. So there we go there. There's the Strangleroot, as I said. So kind of the worst case scenario for me, but we take 3 here on the chin, and we move on. Turn 2. So now I do have the opportunity to fire here. The Strangleroot ends up being a 3/2, but we cut them off mana. I don't know what decision I actually made here. So it looks like I just went ahead and passed. One of the reasons that, the reason that happened for sure is that I have this Remand in my hand. And if they cast anything for 3 or 4 or mana value 5 with Court of Calling, which I don't know that they would do, but Eldritch Evolution would be disastrous for them to cast this turn. So maybe they attack me first and then they try to make their Strangleroot into a Yawgmoth because they're playing around removal rather than something like Remand. I don't have double blue up, so most people are not thinking of Remand. They're thinking of the card Counterspell and things similar to that. So we'll see how this turn develops. I'm probably just taking the hit for 3. Yeah. Nope. So I'm shooting them in combat. And the reason that I did that, obviously I've forgotten my reason at the time. So the reason I did that is because once they went to combat, they can no longer cast the Eldritch Evolution, and they can't hard cast Yawgmoth. They've played their 3rd land, and they're losing the Ignoble. So during combat, they can't make use of this mana. And so now I've put them in a spot where they can't commit to that 4-mana spell. And now if they Eldritch Evolution the Strangleroot guys, yeah, they'll get a Yawgmoth, but this will go away permanently. Or it'll be put into the graveyard with the +1/+1 counter, won't come back. So see how this develops. Second Strangleroot Geist post-combat. So I had the opportunity here to play Wrenn and Six. I think I just prioritized having the Remand. We're going to take 3 on the chin here and block the Strangleroot. Yep. Which is fine. Outland Liberator, go ahead and remand that, just mostly for the cycle. We're trying to find creativity here. Creativity can help us close out really quick. So I was basically willing to remand anything on that turn. So a bit of a clunky hand on my side. No creativity spotted yet and down to 9. However, Now we have the ability to put out a dwarf token to help me defend myself, and then I have a lot of options here. I believe the one I choose is Nahiri the Harbinger, and we just exile the Strangle Root, which does not have a counter on it. Then I'm able to defend myself next turn with Crab token on Liberator, Dwarf token on Strangle Root, and trying to whittle down their number of creatures in play is really important at this point. So they had the Yawgmoth, and they finish off my Crab, and then they also used Outland Liberator to blow up my Clue token to cut me off of Indomitable Creativity, which was a really good read from them because I top decked one. So we play Wrenn and Six here. We're going to pick up the land, then we're going to play Teferi and bounce back the Yawgmoth, as well as having a dwarf token to defend myself because I've set up my mana well. So we've got green, red, and white, blue, and red. And now I can start plussing the Nahiri, which of course is going to become a very significant threat quickly. Nahiri really gets out of hand rather fast. I knew I was going to downtick Teferi, so I didn't mind holding the Nahiri until afterwards and having the maximum amount of information before I chose which card to throw away. So they immediately kill my dwarf token. It's not necessary for them at all. They can do that at instant speed. So I'm not really sure why they felt like they needed to do that, but I don't mind so much. So at this point, I can creativity for 1 at instant speed, guaranteed. However, I'm going to guess that my choice is to push a little further. And the reason for that is, against Yawgmoth, just putting a Serra's Emissary into play isn't good enough. So I need both the Emissary and the Emrakul to sort of guarantee my win next turn. And going for Creativity X1 just puts me in a much more vulnerable position. So I'm guessing what I do here is play Jace the Mind Sculptor and bounce Yawgmoth. And this keeps their mana tied up over and over and over again. While it is possible that with Yawgmoth in hand and 6 mana, that they could, cause me a lot of problems, it's not super likely. I think they need a lot of things to go right, and I'm going to have potentially Prismatic Ending open for 2 or a Dwarf token to block. So my Planeswalkers should be pretty safe here. So I should see Jace the Mind Sculptor into... Nope, Prismatic Ending the Yawgmoth. So I went a different direction. Interesting. Even more interesting because I had the instant speed, ability to do that instant speed. I don't know if that was a misplay or not. Now they have they have another creature, so they can certainly shoot down my dwarfs at instant speed. So now we tempo back the Yawgmoth. They sack the Undying creature in response just to draw a card. I don't know if that's a misplay out of them, because now they're not going to be able to interact with me as well. And they didn't know that this was coming, which is that I just shoot down their wolf token, put a treasure into play. I'm at 4 life, so it's getting a little hairy. But I've set up so much control in play now that it's going to be rather difficult. So I ping down the Blood Artist here. Puts me to 3. Fetch. I had the Nahiri on 8. Sorry, I wasn't paying enough attention. So ping the Blood Artist, do this, and then I'll be able to unsummon the Yawgmoth afterwards. And then I can ping them with Wrenn and Six next turn to close out the game. So this is just completely over. Yeah, I'm not even really sure why they... Oh, and I still have the Prismari Command in hand. So nice clean battlefield to end the first game of the day. Let's go to game 2. All right, game 2 on the draw against Yawgmoth in round 1. Blooming Marsh again, but no 1-drop. So this is on a 7 that they kept, which is a little bit suspect. Must be a pretty strong hand, in my opinion. And knowing that what I know that we lost this game, I'm going to assume it was. We get to fetch shock here, go to 14, and just ending the Geist, which is pretty good. Good way to start. Kept a 2-lander on the draw. I remember this game now. Yeah, I have no way to deal with this Gral's Messenger unless I hit a 3rd land. I have this Prismatic Ending, and I have a Lightning Bolt, but there's no point in bolting this. I think we bolt that. Just to manage the battlefield a little bit. Yeah, just 24 land deck and didn't hit by turn 4. Now my life total is completely desperate, plus they have the Yawgmoth, so if they find any other creature, it's 100% over. And even right now, it's basically over. I can't end this anymore. I finally hit the land, but it was too late. And just scoop that one up. And game 3. Totally reasonable hand. It's just got all the early control elements. We'll draw into a Planeswalker or a Creativity. There's a ridiculous density of those. So Thoughtseize is annoying. And immediately drawing the Emrakul, also annoying. I think I was loud when this happened to me in person. Check this out. Thoughtseize. Okay, you got it. They floated a green. Remand. Veil of Summer. I don't know what in the world Veil of Summer is doing in their deck post-board against me, but it certainly blew me out hard there. The problem for them, of course, is that they've added no battlefield presence so far. Now they're starting up, and of course they took my Fire Ice, which would have been insane here. But, you know, this is where we're at. I do bolt the Hierarch. Stops them from attacking, even for a little bit of damage. Grist, obviously problematic. So getting in a really bad spot very quickly here. Lightning Bolt, not good enough, but cutting them off mana is a really okay way to play these games against Yawgmoth. Their mana base is a little bit light. They definitely count on their creatures a lot, and sometimes you can lock up a lot of cards in their hand by keeping the battlefield pretty clear. Just tanking on whether or not I want a dwarf there. I do, for the thinning, for the token. And now we draw the Creativity, but Emrakul's in my hand. This would be so easy if it wasn't. So I Creativity here, and I have to name Planeswalker. The reason is, of course, that Grist has a down tick, which can kill the Emissary, and they're definitely going to have a creature. If I had a Fire Ice or something, maybe I could name creature. That's what you normally want to name against Yawgmoth, but this card means you always have to be aware that your Emissary could get blown up. So if you have an Emrakul in play as well, it's fine, because then you just name Planeswalker and you're going to win the next turn. So this is where the game gets interesting. So they had the Prosperous Innkeeper. They're able to get Yawgmoth, shrink my Serra's Emissary. So draw another Creativity. Attack them for 6, not attacking the Grist here. I know what this game is going to be about, and it's going to be about killing them quickly. So I went ahead and cast Indomitable Creativity. I actually did a bluff here, and I cast it on my Dwarf token as well as Yawgmoth, and they took the bait and sacrificed their Insect token to kill my Dwarf token. I think this is beneficial for me. So this means that they're going to have no creatures in play, or sorry, they're going to have whatever this flips into, but they sacrificed the extra insect, which would have been attacking me and or giving them other value. So let's see what they flip into. Just a Yawgmoth. I say just a Yawgmoth. So now they're at 7, but because they shrunk my Serra's Emissary, this is 1 point short. I have a lot of top decks that can kill them from this point, although I have both my Lightning Bolts and one of my Fire Ices in the graveyard already, so not quite so many, but Grist exists as well as Prismari Command. I'm at 13 here, going to 11. Now, they missed the attack with the Yawgmoth there? They did. Yeah, it doesn't have Summoning Sickness. Huh. I don't know if I noticed that on the day of, but I am pretty sure they would win this match if they had taken that attack. So I attack them for 6. Oh, there's a reason why. They have this Court of Calling. But of course, instead of drawing a burn spell, I drew a Remand. So they held back this Young Wolf so they could cast Court of Calling for 1. I guess they were going to get a Birds of Paradise and block my Serra's Emissary. Yes, okay. So we Remand that, because I was lucky enough to draw that. And then I drew exactly Hard Evidence. So it's not a burn spell to kill them, but Hard Evidence is fine here. Crack the Clue immediately. I don't think that I had counted that I had no Lightning Bolts left. So they had Grist on 7 loyalty here, and they 6 creature cards in their graveyards. They downtick Grist, and they put me to 5. Right now, they've got Strangleroot Geist, Insect Token, Young Wolf, and they're casting something. I'm pretty sure this something is about to be an Eldritch Evolution. The problem is, I don't think they can get anything that actually closes the gap here. So if they sacrifice Young Wolf, they could get a Strangleroot Geist. or they could sack Strangleroot Geist to get a Strangleroot Geist. But that only adds another 2, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4 damage attacking. Because I can block the Geist with the Crab token. So the Crab token ended up being about as good as a burn spell here. So they're pumping the Eldritch Evolution. They're not sure. They keep going to cast it. They're not sure. Now they Eldritch Evolution. They sack the Geist. And they get another Grist. Right. Which, yeah, so now they could sacrifice one of these 3 creatures, but they can't kill my Crab token. Because it also has protection from Planeswalkers. So, and that was it. There was just literally nothing they could do to put an extra point into play to attack me. They were at 1, but they weren't able to get there. Magic Online won't let me see what the next card I would have drawn would be. But pretty tight win there in round 1. So I'll see you in round number 2. All right. And we're back for round number 2 here against Random Octopus. So we had a nice little banter as this match was starting. I said, hey there, good luck and have fun, as I always do. They said never, and then they said lol, thank you. And I screamed at them, you're not my mom. So I won the die roll, 6-3. So let's see how this game starts out. Great opening hand here. Shock the Steam Vents, send in the Crab. No Lurrus on the other side means it's probably not burn, but you know, it always could be. Scalding Tarn on the other side into nothing, so it could be a lot of things with no companion. It could be Rhinos, it could be Living End, could be Murktide. We send in the Wrenn and Six, resolves, so no Spell Pierce from my potential Murktide opponent. Raugrin Triome, okay, things are starting to narrow down a little bit. Second Scalding Tarn. No play still. And now, kind of, cards are going to be on the table. So Breeding Pool, Raugrin Triome, and Ice. So at this point I was like, I think it's 4-color Rhinos. But 4-color Rhinos has mostly been a Urian deck recently. Turned out that Doomwake, who is the premier Rhinos pilot, has been experimenting this week with a Urian-free version. And I was not exactly sure what that was going to entail, because the Urinos deck did have Solitude, which is a card I need to play around with this deck. But this one does not. Spoiler alert. So we had the Remand for the first set of Rhinos. They just jammed there. We're now on to turn 4. Wrenn and Six is already on 6 loyalty. Really getting dangerous for my opponent already. So they need to find a Fury or some other way to deal some damage to Wrenn and Six. I found another Remand, which is great. Send back that Teferi. Thank you very much. No attack from the Shardless Agent into my Crab. Makes sense. Draw my own Teferi. Completely insane. Just plus it because I have enough blockers. And if they have a Fury, yeah, they can hit the Teferi to 1 loyalty. But Teferi in play against the Rhinos deck is incredibly powerful. I did plus my Teferi so I could instant speed this Prismatic Ending right now, or I could play Fire Ice before combat. They're playing Teferi Time Raveler, and they could also have another removal spell. So there's a disaster scenario, quote unquote, where they have a Fury and a red card to pitch and another card that removes this dwarf token. So let's say they play the Teferi, they bounce the Crab token, they have like a Fire or Ice to get the dwarf token out of the way, and they Fury my Teferi and attack it. They can kill my Teferi and knock my Wrenn and Six down from 7 loyalty. I'm not sure what I do here. I would be surprised. I would not be surprised if I did nothing. Just let this resolve, crack the clue. Also playing Fire on the Shardless Agent or even Ice is an acceptable choice. Let's see what happens here. Looks like I play Ice. Okay. So just looking to cycle my Fire Ice, maybe get to a Creativity. They did have a Fire, so they ding my Wrenn and Six there. I kill their Teferi because they down-ticked it with the Fire. So now I'm, again, sitting with Teferi and Wrenn and Six cruising along. We drew the Serra's Emissary, but we do actually have enough white sources to cast this. My Plains is in play, so if this fetches Raugrin Triome and then the next turn I cycle it around to get the Sacred Foundry, would be fine. Omnath coming in. Actually, a Prismatic Ending for 4 available here, and I believe you'll see me do that. So if they have a Fury in their hand that they were hoping to hard cast, they will not be able to do so. They shock in a land and they petty theft my token. And I'm just over here setting up for a potential Serra's Emissary on the next turn. They play Shardless Agent as a Gray Ogre. They can't resolve the Cascade. That's great for me. They put Crashing Footfalls into exile. Now here, yeah, little bit of disaster in terms of if I draw Creativity, but I have a Prismari Command, so we'll just cast Serra's Emissary, name instant. They can never bounce that, and they're at 7. So their deck does not have a way to remove this because they don't have Solitude. So in theory, if they attacked and hit the Serra's Emissary and had a Fury and had like a Fire, no, not Fire, because it's got protection from instants. So yeah, Petty Theft off the Brazen Borrower and Fire and or Ice as ways to deal with this are the reason you're naming instant on that. So Serra's Emissary gets the job done. Hard cast. Ain't no problem sometimes. And game number 2 of round 2. So game 2, round 2. Random Octopus on 4-color Rhinos. Had to ship the first hand, just didn't have any lands. Wrenn and Six, Flusterstorm, Remand. This is looking A+. We're probably not able to play the Wrenn and Six on turn 2 because I need to make sure I have Flusterstorm and or Remand and or Veil of Summer ready to go in case of Rhinos. First Rhinos resolving is the most important one to sort of prevent. So the trick here, and I use this all the time now, is because they are playing Fire Ice, if you have a bunch of fetch lands in your hand and some cheap blue interaction that you want to be able to make sure that you play, just leave your fetch lands uncracked. Don't go get Triomes or anything like that, because now they can't ice you, which is oftentimes a big part of their strategy. So here I play the Dwarven Mine to just make sure I'm going to have 3 mana for Prismari Command next turn, but I'm not making myself vulnerable to Fire Ice here. And you see the ice the Dwarven Mine, but I have Flusterstorm ready, so if their Cascade spell in their hand is Shardless Agent or Ardent Plea, they can't do it. Rhinos sometimes gets unlucky too, and they missed their 3rd land drop there. It's a big deal for us. Second ice, that's not my favorite, but we hit a land drop, so that's great. Again, they're missing. They don't have the ability to do a lot of card filtering in the early game, so you see how they're spewing the Fire Ices just to try to hit their land drop. So now that I know I'm going to be able to get to 3 mana, I grab the first Triome. And we play the Wrenn and Six rather than the Prismari Command. It's just a little bit more powerful. Still have the ability to fetch shock, Stomping Grounds, fetch shock, Steam Vents for Flusterstorm. So we're very, very protected from them getting to any Rhinos and stuff now. They finally found their land. 3 mana, what are they going to play? So they evoke a Fury to snipe my Wrenn and Six. This is totally fine. We already got a card out of it. They just 2-for-1 themselves, so it's a 3-for-1 in total trade. We let them Cascade here. Go fetch shock for Flusterstorm or Remand, I wonder. Looks like I'm going for Remand. I'm going to get my first dwarf token into play to defend myself. Because it's their turn, I don't have to worry about force negation. So cycling the Remand feels good. I'm playing 4 Teferis, and they've been missing land drops, so they don't get to suspend their Rhinos this turn. And I have time, you know, they're going to suspend it this turn maybe, and then I still have plenty of time to find a Teferi and lock it out. They just played all of nothing this turn. I still have the Flusterstorm, so we play Prismari Command to try to make some action here, kill the Shardless Agent at end step. Using my life total as a resource, of course. Holding the fetch land, playing the tap shock, just because sometimes these games become a lot about very tight life totals. So we'll see if that's the way it is. Finally suspends that Crashing Footfalls several turns later. Oh no, this is the second one. No, it's the first one. The other card in exile was the Fury. They pitched Teferi. So found the Teferi. Teferi resolves. That's huge. Plus Teferi again, because in this matchup they do have Fury and other burn spells. So I want to make sure that I don't lose my Teferi like that. There are some matchups where you want to downtick your Teferi right away because your opponent can remove it no matter how high the loyalty is. And in this matchup, you want to plus it to prevent them from removing it with their burn spells. Hardcast Teferi. So we have Remand here. They're still short on lands, so they can't recast it. Found a second Wrenn and Six. That's fantastic. Just another threat going. Plus, we have the Raugrin Triome to start cycling. It doesn't come up too often, but it's nice when it does. Prismari Command also just turns any like fetch land into something you can cycle. So they do have an Omnath here, and the fetch land finally. So definitely a big tempo swing on their side this turn. Didn't have anything to do about it. Didn't have anything to do about the Fury here. So definitely a big swing back in their favor. And so now we're entering a really tricky little chunk of the game because my Teferi's at 3. I can't use it to downtick to bounce anything. So I think at this end step, I'm going to Prismari Command to go draw 2, discard 2, make a treasure. I'm not 100% sure on that one. Let's see what I go for. I cycle the Veil of Summer because they played Omnath, and then I do the Prismari Command. So from my own actions, it looks like I'm feeling a scotch desperate. Now we've found another Teferi, Prismatic Ending, and Serra's Emissary. So I can bounce their one of their creatures, but these both have pretty powerful ETBs, so that's not super appealing. I do end up making a misplay this turn. I should plus my Wrenn and Six to grab this Plains to play the Serra's Emissary. I think I do something else. Yeah, I pick up the Arid Mesa and I fetch, and I realize the Plains is in my graveyard. So I end up bouncing Omnath and putting out a Dwarf token and just holding on to the extra copy of Teferi here. They play a second Teferi, so they kind of got me good there, kind of. They get to pick off my Teferi with that. But they're tapped out. So this turn, I think I just end up hard casting Serra's Emissary finally. Nope, I went with Teferi instead. Drew into Shark Typhoon, which was pretty great. Crashing Footfalls finally tried to come off Suspend. There's the Fury, so it's going to wipe out my Teferi, but Wrenn and Six still alive at 1 loyalty. I think they're at 10, so I can end step a Shark here. I'm not going for the maximum amount. I'm not going to use this treasure token because I need that as a third white next turn. I'm going to finally make my mistake right, pick up this Plains, and cast the Serra's Emissary. So we're going to make a 5/5 Shark here at end step. Now what I should do on my turn is attack first before I play the Emissary. I don't remember if I do that or not. Pick up the Plains, play the Plains. Yes, I do attack first. So if they have a Petty Theft or something like that, they'll cast it here. They do not. They go to 5. And then at this point, we just play the Serra's Emissary. I don't remember what I name on it. Okay, instant. Yeah, that makes the most sense. So they could have another Teferi. But they already burned through 1, 2, just 2. And they're about halfway through their deck, so it's possible that they found another Teferi. But then they're hitting me for 6 if they want. And I still have a Flusterstorm to fight over something if I need to. Obviously, it's probably not going to counter it, but it will get them tapped down, and 6 is just not going to be lethal. Fire on top of the 6 damage is still not enough. And I kill them on the crackback with the Shark. So round number 2 goes to me against 4-color Urian-less Rhinos. Alrighty, back for round 3. The first opponent who I knew exactly who they were and what they were up to, Spider Space. I didn't know exactly what was in his list, but Spider Space, I saw that Spider Space was playing this Oswald Taxes deck, 80 card with Urian. So lead on Ketria Triome, Crab token on turn 2. I'm going to start to be real cautious about my fetch lands because I don't know if he's playing Lean into Arbiter or not. Looks like Oswald coming down on turn 2 with an Aether Vial, and I have no way to solve this at the moment, so feeling uncomfortable here already in this game. And they have a Giver of Runes, so Oswald is quite comfortable to not be removed. Found a Razortide Bridge, and they they flip out the Aether Vial here into an Ichor Wellspring. My response there was just in case they had a Revoker, I didn't want to have my my fetch land revoked. They get a Relic of Progenitus out as well, and they've got the Ichor Wellspring. Relic doesn't really bother me too much. Okay, so Teferi finally found something that I can do something with, but with Creativity in hand, we just put in the Serra's Emissary and we name Protected from Creatures. I knew he was a Solitude deck. This blue source was concerning because if he has Aether Spellbomb to turn, so he could float a blue mana, sacrifice the 0-drop, get a 1-drop with Oswald Fiddlebender, Aether Spellbomb, send Serra's Emissary back to my hand. It's a pretty big tempo loss for them though. But this is protected from most things he could have. Also, now I don't take damage from creatures. Flicker-Wisp can't do anything about anything anymore, and there we go. Just take the game right there. There's a good number of decks in Modern that just cannot beat Serra's Emissary, name a creature. Hammer Time in Game 1 is one of them, and apparently so is Spider Space. Shipped the first one. It looked a little mediocre. Okay, so leading on the Triome, he's got the Esper Sentinel, starting to kneel me, plus attacks the mana. Quick Needle on Wrenn and Six means I wasn't going to be able to play Wrenn and Six and ping this, and theoretically start generating value after that, although I don't actually have a fetch land. I could have Prismatic Ending either the Esper Sentinel or the Vial or the Pithing Needle last turn, and paid the tax on the Sentinel. I elected to hold up Fire, Ice, and or Wear Tear here. Let's see how it goes for me. So take another 1 damage from Esper Sentinel. Tech Edge comes down. Here's Archon of Emeria. So now in response, I'll fire. So definitely seems to be a bit of a rough spot for me, having not ended last turn. Archon of Emeria is an absolute beast against my deck. And I knew that this was coming, and I missequenced. So I played this island on turn 2, and I really should have played and either shocked or not shocked the Steam Vents. This card is a beating. The first clause is, it's okay. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. That's not always a problem for my deck, but non-basic lands your opponent control enter the battlefield tap. So this is simultaneously a big problem for your fetch lands, and your shock lands, and you fetching into shock lands, and you only have 2 basics, and Dwarven Mine, the trigger that makes the dwarf, is contingent on it entering untapped, which it can't do with Archon in play. So your Dwarven Mines are non-functional. They are tapped mountains, which is really not what you're looking for. So Archon into Nettlecyst, the beatdown certainly begins here. I got the Wear Tear, so not in too much trouble yet, but certainly feeling it. A tap Steam Vents there. We can fetch Raugrin Triome on the next turn and be able to end the Archon. I missed fetching in response to the Aether Vial on 2, but luckily they named Teferi Time Raveler rather than Wrenn and Six. So I'm going to be able to get the white source for Prismatic Ending here. The problem is I've taken too much damage, and I knew this Aether Vial on 3. I 100% knew that it could be a Flicker-Wisp, but Spider Space is only 11 cards into his deck. He's had a pretty ideal draw so far, so I believe that I just kind of, because I have the Prismari Command, I can wait until the next turn to do it. It's possible what I could have done here was just go to Shatter the Aether Vial and make a treasure token. But Flicker-Wisp can blow up my treasure token when I went to Creativity it anyway. That might have been the way to win this game, actually. So I think I just saw a spot where I could have won this game, which would be shatter this and make a treasure. They could Flicker-Wisp in response, or they couldn't hardcast the Flicker-Wisp next turn. So I think that actually would have been a winning line. Interesting. I missed it when I was playing. Huh. There's a lot of stuff going on. There's always room to improve. This can fetch a basic. This can fetch a dwarf. So at the moment, I could have... but I don't have 3 mountains. And this can't get a dwarf because the Archon's gone. But the problem is, if I fetch a mountain that to turn on this to get a dwarf token, then I'm going to 5. So I could block one of their 2 power creatures and then take 5. But that was an interesting point there. So this Prismari Command, I misplayed it, even having the Flicker Wisp on my mind. Okay, good to know. Let's check out Game 3. Game 3 against Spider Space on the play this time. Let's see how she goes. Pretty good 7. Just all the interaction for the early game with anything he could have. Double Wear Tear is a bit weak, but we'll see how it plays out. Again, I elect not to kill the Esper Sentinel at sorcery speed. I think I'm just invested in Fire Ice just being a huge blowout. So let's see what we do here. We go wear on the Sentinel, and then Prismari Command, make a treasure on the Oswald. Okay. They Flicker Wisp my token. Okay. So now I have Wrenn and Six, and rather than ping the Flicker Wisp, I want to make my land drop. So I get a Dwarven Mine, and then I believe just fire at sorcery speed. I don't really needed to do it at sorcery speed. The tax deck's not normally that good at blowing me out there at instant speed without an Aether Vial. So now we're in a semi-interesting spot. I could Prismatic Ending the Portable Hole and then cast... Sorry, Prismatic Ending the Portable Hole, which gets me Wrenn and Six. Wrenn and Six picks me up the fetch land to get the Jace. And I believe that's exactly what I do here. So attack for 1 first. I go Prismatic Ending, pick up the land, fetch, get the island, don't take as much damage, play Jace the Mind Sculptor. They're not likely to be able to take that off the battlefield immediately, so we're in an insanely good spot now. Stoneforge Mystic is a bit threatening, though. So from this point on, I played really conservatively, and I made one fairly major misplay, which we'll see in a minute here. So I have the Creativity. I could Creativity X2 here, and I know it, but they can activate the Ratchet Bomb and instant speed, blow up all my 0 drops. I believe what I could have done here is gone wear the Ratchet Bomb and then Creativity X1. I almost definitely should have. I think what I do here, attack with a Dwarf without down taking Wrenn and Six. Wrenn and Six could finish off the Stoneforge, which they really do not want me to do because they put Kaldra Complete into their hand, which is uncastable. You know, or not reasonably castable. What I should have done before I fetched the Dwarf token, and I tried to fix it, but since I had auto-yielded the trigger, I lost the opportunity. I should have cast Wear Tear on this before this Dwarf came in. Then they would pop it in response, and then I could Creativity X1 and use Jace to bounce the Stoneforge Mystic, and I don't think they're coming back from that. Oh, sorry, I can't. Obviously, I can't do that. So what do I do here now that I've made the mistake? So I wear the Pithing Needle on Jace so I can unlock a Brainstorm, and I speculate that I'm very, 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 very likely to draw a piece of removal for Stoneforge Mystic, which I did in fact do. The piece of removal in this case that I use is Teferi, just to tempo them back again, rather than use a Prismatic Ending or a Prismari Command. So they can get another card with this, but I'm just not concerned about that at all. They do get a Lightning Grease, which is not something I was expecting, which means they'll be able to take down one of my Dwarf tokens, but that's totally okay. Now I have instant speed Creativity available, but they can blow up Ratchet Bomb in response. So probably what I should do here is just Prismatic Ending the Ratchet Bomb, play a fetch land, and have instant speed Creativity X2 up. I don't think that's what I do, though. I think I end up overthinking this. And the problem is Spider Space is an absolute beast of an expert playing these white taxes lists, making these white taxes lists. Plays a lot of unconventional cards. So instead I go Shatter, make a treasure. At this moment I can only Creativity X1. So, and their last card here, one of the last 2 cards was Archon of Emeria. Plus they get to bring in Kaldra, and they get to equip the Lightning Greaves here and attack me. So let's see how they attack. So Kaldra goes at Jace, Archon goes at Teferi. This is in fact how they ended up attacking. Because I plus Jace, I can Prismatic Ending the Germ token. And then I can still only cast 1 spell per turn. So we do that. Lose the Teferi. And attack with the dwarf token, put in the second thing, and now I creativity. So apparently he had no out for this. I don't even know if one exists in Modern, but I navigated the game in a way where, like, at this moment I have Wrenn and Six on 7, and I've resolved this, and I did it in a way where I made him sort of invest the maximum amount of resources before I did it. Again, this is not a disrespect of Spider Space. The reason I play this game is this way is because I respect this player so much. He is amazing at coming up with innovative decks, card choices, and piloting them really amazingly. The number of times I've seen Spider Space top 8 a Modern challenge on a deck that nobody else has played before, has put together before, is fairly high. So I just... I played in a way where I tried to maximize my number of ways to win because I didn't feel like the danger was losing immediately. I had enough pieces that I could kind of play it out a little bit longer and avoid disastrous interactions. So we got one more round to do on this recap. All right, here we are in round number 4. My first match against Belfi. I knew Belfi was a frequent player of Living End, but I did not mulligan to a more powerful hand against Living End. I just set up my mana in such a way that maybe they would play around me having something where I didn't. They went double cycle Curator of Mysteries, but they did not hit a third land. And it turns out this ends up being kind of the story of game 1 here. So now I have space to play Prismari Command because they can't Violent Outburst. I have shocked myself down to 10 already. Finding Fire Ice is nice because it means I can keep them off Cascade one more turn. Emrakul in hand is not super disastrous. The thing is, like, against Living End, you have to play such an awkward game because of the card Living End. That creativity for the Serra's Emissary is the only thing that matters. So here on the upkeep, we Ice. Keep them off with 3 mana. They trade Fury for Wrenn and Six. It's fine. Got a second Wrenn and Six anyway. But instead I elect to play Nahiri the Harbinger. So Nahiri ticks up to a point where you can kill or send an attacking Emrakul at your opponent so quickly that I thought this is sort of like a Hail Mary situation of like, okay, if they keep missing land drops or depending on when they cascade, we might still be able to get to this. Now, Fury obviously causes problems. If they can cascade into a Living End right now, they get a Fury out and smash my Nahiri. They had a Foundation Breaker to crack my treasure token here. I think it's all they could do, so they do. Good for them. So now I'm getting real close. Nahiri's about to go up to 8. I can discard the Emrakul this turn. Put out the Dwarven Mine first, try to hit a Remand. Cycle. While the graveyard's still there, try to hit a Remand. Nope, nothing. Play Wrenn and Six, pick up nothing past the turn. So I've put as much board presence into play as possible, but I didn't have any way to interact with them again. And there it is, Shardless Agent. So they get Curator, and Fury. And the Fury obviously knocks my Nahiri down to 4. Finding creativity at this point would be good enough. But we don't. Dig as deep as I can. I can stay alive for one more turn with removal and stuff. Go to pick up a fetch land. They evoke Endurance. It's very uncommon that you see that, but they wanted to block me as much as possible. So we go 3 color, 4 color, Prismatic Ending, one of the 4 drops. I've got Lightning Bolt for Fury, and I've got a chump blocker, so I could go to 2 here. So if I top deck creativity, I can get Emissary into play, but unfortunately, they had their second Brazen Borrower, and down I go. Game number 2 against Belfi on Living End. So I've got 7 sideboard cards, 3 Flusterstorms, 2 Rest in Peace. I brought in the Shark Typhoons. I cut a Jace. The hard evidence are pretty bad. Lightning Bolt's pretty bad. Wrenn and Six a little bit narrow. Fire Ice is not great. It's fine. and 1 Prismatic Ending. So I ended up keeping Prismatic Endings, which I don't normally do against Living End, but because this deck plays like the Bone Crusher Giants, the Endurances, it's sort of like the crappy mid-range plan is a lot more of a plan than usual for a Living End deck. I decided to keep some of the Prismatic Endings. This is not a very common matchup. I didn't have an exact deck list for what kind of thing they would be having here, so get my colors going. I could just jam Jace here, or sorry, Teferi here, but having double Flusterstorm up made me feel comfortable not to. Not going to be able to cast Prismari Command yet because they could have the Violent Outburst. Missing the 4th land was a bit inconvenient. Still in okay shape so far. Waterlog Groove. There we go. So now I can play Teferi and Flusterstorm. However, Mystical Dispute means we do not push through this turn. If they had Violent Outburst into Shardless Agent here, they would have resolved the 2nd Living End, although admittedly only for like 6 power. So here we go again with the Teferi play, running it back. No, not running it back. Something about the 5th mana made me nervous about it. Also the fact that they had the Brazen Borrower in exile, I guess. So now I can kill... Yeah, I can kill the Brazen Borrower with Prismari Command and Flusterstorm, which is what you'll see. Yeah, now I have more mana, so I can do this and still have the Flusterstorm up. Force Negation. All right, we're all in now. If they had a Mystical Dispute, they can punch through here still and counter the Teferi. They do not. Plus the Teferi, because I know they're on Furies. Don't want to immediately lose him. They're hard to cast Curator of Mysteries. So we bounce the Curator and then also have Rest in Peace and the Flusterstorm. I have several Teferis in my hand, though no land drops. So we'll see them replay Curator here. So now I get to go plus Teferi and play another Teferi and bounce. I found another Creativity, but now I don't have a token. That's okay. We'll eventually find one, and we do. So at this point, you know, they can't Living End for anything, so I just have to deal with the crappy mid-range plan, and it's better than the Living End deck normally has, but not better by enough. So now I have instant speed, Creativity, and their Living Ends are blocked. So I guess if they had Fury into Living End here, they could remove whatever payoff I get here, but they didn't have it, and we take that one. And game 3. It's the final game of this recap, and then you'll have the live stream video for the rest of the challenge. So they lead on Botanical Sanctum. I have Wooded Foothills. Double Remand, Prismari Command is an okay hand. Again, we're going to run the same trick that I did against Rhinos of not sacking the fetch lands. But because they missed their 2nd land drop, I felt confident to just start fetching and set up my mana. They missed their land drop again, so they're stuck on 1 so far. Pretty brutal for them. On their turn 4 end step, I Prismari Command to go, or no, cycle the Shark Typhoon. And the reason I cycled Shark Typhoon this turn rather than play the Prismari Command, because if they had a Mystical Dispute in their hand, they would have been able to play it there. And I prioritized not giving them the target. I don't think that's right. I think I should have jammed the Prismari Command into their dispute there, because, you know, Bone Crusher's not doing anything against me. So they discarded a card that they didn't need, and I could have pushed them in a position where they discard a card they do need. That said, like, I like Prismari Command a lot for my strategy, so I think that's the reason I didn't just, like, spew it into their Mystical Dispute, but I probably should have. Moving on. Shark token goes in. Put a dwarf. So it looks like we're on the crappy mid-range plan. They found their 2nd land, but it's just an island, so they're still missing red mana, just generally. I get the Prismari Command off there. Attack for 2. Now I have the ability to play Time Raveler and also keep up Remand and Flusterstorm. So now they finally have a Mystical Dispute. Put the dwarf in, cast Remand on my Teferi, which resolves. Still have the Flusterstorm in case they find the 3rd mana and they can cascade. They don't. So now we're going to run back the same play from the previous turn. Crappy mid-range plan has engaged. So play Teferi again. This time they have Force Negation. And this time I let it go. I think what I was worried about in particular was if I get... Yeah, I don't remember exactly how I was thinking about it. I think if that Teferi had resolved... Well, so I had to remand the Teferi again, and at this point I think I was just like, you know what? The crappy mid-range plan is kind of working. I can play Wrenn and Six and just defend that. I have the creativity for after their living end, so right now, if they living end, I get to creativity right afterwards, and put in my Emissary, and then they have to living end again, and I can counter the second living end. Serra's Emissary in on creature means their whole battlefield just doesn't matter. So I let the Force of Negation go rather than slowing myself down massively in order to keep the Remand on top of the Flusterstorm. So, yeah, moving on. So that was, in fact, what I was thinking. I now remember. So attacking for 3, we're getting them lower and lower and lower. Obviously, at the point where if I resolve a creativity, it's just going to win me the game. So Remand living in there. Draw another Teferi. Fantastic. Here goes Fury. Oof. There goes my crappy beatdown plan. And the Shardless Agent. There's the living end. We have Flusterstorm. Now they're at 8. So this is going to become very important in a second here. So I don't fetch my dwarf, just play Teferi plus. At this moment, I can creativity X1 only. So they attack in here, fetch, creativity X1. Found Serra's Emissary, we call instant, just in case of Brazen Borer or Fire Ice. I don't need creature right now. And they had Valakut Awakening. So if they had had living end at this exact moment, they can't resolve it anymore. There's just really nothing they could do here. So they ship their whole hand, draw back up to 4, but I have lethal in hand here. So the matchup against living end is definitely complicated by the card living end, because if you creativity after they, basically, at least as opposed to the grief versions of living end, you can more comfortably hold on to a wrath or a creativity, and so after they living end, you can sort of counter it once it's on the battlefield. So that was basically the way I set up those last couple turns, and I ended up like using all the counters in my hand, so it kind of worked out the way I was thinking it would. So at this point, this is all the matches I did off stream. So now you'll be able to transfer over to the stream video, and I guess I'll see you there. So you'll be able to see all the rest of this challenge as it was recorded on the day of. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you there. If he is on Amulet, his hand's not great. Third land and killed me. And okay. No double amulet, please, Leviathan. Oh. So no Dryad. Okay. Oh. You know what? Deal. There could be a Titan this turn, though. We're on the Shatter and Amulet Prey plan. I'll make a treasure. Alright. So the Titan won't kill me. It's not a Titan. I like cycling cards here to get creativity, maybe. I felt like I needed the tempo rather than the just YOLO there. See if we find Remand or Ice. Damn. He's on 4 cards, not that many. One of them is an Amulet. If he plays the Amulet without another land, he can't Titan. Still probably a Titan coming. Nope. Holy jumping. Pretty lucky. 1, 2, I have 6 mana. So I can cycle. So I'm just trying to figure out if I want to cycle this Raugrin Triome or not. I think I can. They didn't have any lands last turn. They weren't able to Titan last turn. Maybe they have the Titan and they didn't want to Titan without the amulet. Now they have to. Grazer resolves. You didn't have any lands last turn. You have no amulet. Okay, just no Titan. Wild. Holy yikes. Nobody has things going according to plan here. Oh, people want to X6 Prismatic Ending on Titan? Yeah, that'd be fun. Not not particularly useful, but fun. Can't stop that. Just make colorless? How does your arm produce colorless, or is this some kind of bit that I don't know? Oh, okay, I've never seen that. I've only seen the possum. The awesome possum. Yeah, I mean, what else are you gonna get, buddy? Still no Remand? Are you really? No ice? Nothing? Just air, huh? Okay. I guess they were trying to figure out if they had an option other than just getting Titan. Yeah. I just like I would like to share it with you guys always, but so I'm probably Teferi bouncing their Titan. I just need to find one Remand and this game becomes a very different. Oh, or that. Okay. There we go. That's our play. Yeah, this should be over. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So when they go to combat, do I kill their Titan? I do, right? I think when they go to attack, we creativity their Titan. A month ago, no one was doing it. Oh, Canister was doing it like every single Saturday. Like every single Saturday, Canister was on. So if I let them attack with the Titan, they get 2 lands with which they can do relatively nothing. I eat their Titan, and then they have to figure out the rest of the turn. I also get a Serra's Emissary on land. If I blow up their Titan, it could not become a Titan. It could become a number of other things, some of which are actually more dangerous. But again, if I have Serra's Emissary on land and an Emrakul in play, I don't think they can ever beat me. So I think I let this attack. Once this is attacking, I don't think they could possibly win. Mama Hungy? Mm-hmm. So it seems like them setting up for a longer term plan. Okay. I was overthinking that for sure. Yeah, this is the only thing we need. I completely agree with you, Kaya. I think you have the best emotes out of everyone I know. Like, I mean, smaller streamers. This is in the range of keepable. So what we don't want to see from them here is turn 1 Grazer. That's fine. That is not a Grazer. Ooh. I don't need Wrenn and Six for my land drops, so I can shatter the amulet next, or I can exile the amulet next turn with Prismatic Ending, so maybe let's just Stone Rain them. Because there's a chance they have like a Karoo in hand they were hoping to play this turn. They won't be able to. Yeah, I don't think you ever don't do this. I should play the Foothills. Boop. Stone Rain. Try to blow out a Karoo. They still get 2 mana, right? And if they have an Explorer, right? Am I wrong? I'm probably wrong, but I imagine that I am not correct, but yeah, I'm right? Oh, neat. Every goddamn time. You would have done what I did? Yeah. I don't know. It's like 6 of one, half a dozen of the other on that play, right? And they have really had a resilient draw. Okay, that's great because I get to exile that. Still had another land, goodness gracious. But none of this puts together a Titan next turn. So we're getting Raugrin Triome here. Not because I like particularly love it, but because I might eventually need to cast the Emissary. I do need to find a Mesa. One of Nahiri strikes again. This is the part of the game, though, where usually the wheels kind of fall off the bus for them a little bit. Like, they don't have a huge amount of resources left. They have no amulet. Like, an uncounterable Titan isn't the end of the world for me. So they're down to 1 card in hand. Like, if they find the first Titan, they definitely get rolling. Okay, we're almost there. Okay, so they have an uncounterable Titan here. If they draw it. Oh, yes. Damn it. I'm going to cycle at least one of these remands here. Probably 2. The clue is better. Oh, I didn't get a... Okay, never mind. We're going to cycle 1 remand here. That's a good draw. Not a great draw, but a good draw. So the hits start coming and they don't stop coming, and the hits start coming and they don't stop coming. Yeah, so they have enough to Teleria into the next Titan, uncounterably. We'll Teferi the one in play, most likely, but I'm almost on Wrenn and Six Emblem, though. I'm almost on Hardcast Serra's Emissary, too. But they'll eventually be able to find Dryad and Valakut. No, they have Valakut already, so now they just need Dryad. Okay. But I think we just go Creativity X2 and... Oh, I have the Emissary in my hand, of course. Teleria for Pact for Titan, cast the Titan. But if I bounce the Titan that's in play, I can Teleria for the Dryad and then Dryad for... I don't know, can they deal with Emrakul in one turn cycle? Yeah, Dryad plus Valakut triggers? Yeah, for sure they can. Teferi sends back the Titan, so the next turn they can play Titan and Transmute, but that's it. They have a natural draw into a Dryad. I'm screwed. Okay. 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 I know you have the other... I know they have the other cavern in their hand. So they still get 1 Valakut trigger this turn. I think they screwed up. Because now they'll play the cavern on Nymph. Right? And then cast it. And then they have another land drop. But only 1 more. Yeah, I don't know what he was trying to do. Or what he was playing or not playing around. So they got a bolt. Just 1. Yep, they bolt the Wrenn and Six to stop it from going supernova. Right, this is over. I have Creativity for 1 and 3 mana. Can't do anything with it. Yo, we got some prime gamers in here. There it is. We're doing the land dance. Trigger. So we're almost locked for top 8, by the way, which is terrifying. I just want everyone to know as soon as we make it to top 8, I will lose. But I really do thank everyone who's here right now and who's going to go along the rest of the ride with me here. It's 8 rounds. Okay. Spiders at 4-1 give me good tiebreakers. Belfi 4-1. I just beat Belfi. I have no idea what they're on, and they have the play. Can we get a hammer time? Can we get a hammer time? That would be nice. I haven't played against hammer time at all yet. I think I'm keeping this in the dark. It could be on burn or something, but... Yikes. No Dryad, please? Oh. They're gonna make a token? Amulet's not a bad matchup. Yeah. It's not a problem unless they have like a really, really bonkers hand. So I'm gonna ice the Teleria West on their upkeep. Then they get a second Amulet. Then they get at least 5 mana, which is not enough for a Titan. And I don't need to not fetch now. I can fetch now. There's no reason. So if they have a Dryad, they could Titan this turn. So they go make 4 mana, play Dryad, make another 4 mana, play Titan. So, or Grazer, it does it even more easily. So we could get Titaned here. If we do, I think we die. They might not have the Titan because they have the Teleria West in hand now. Yep, cool. All right. Game 3. Or 2. Blech. It's good against most of their early starts. Deck is being thoroughly uncooperative today. But this is a very, I don't know, stable hand. I don't feel like I had to mulligan this, so I didn't. They go Saga on 1, we're going to blow it up. In response to the trigger. Okay. That was... They misclicked. They said in chat, like, new misclick. It sucks. I hate it. I really hate it. There's nothing I can do to help them. Like, what am I going to do? Time walk myself? I don't know. It sucks, but that's perfect. It should probably be Sacred Foundry because I need to get up to the Emissary. Oh my god, second Grazer. Wrenn and Six is just like does not want to be left at home. It's very needy. Oh, kill the omelet now. Yeah. Selection. Sick. Double sick. Oh my god. It resolves. So they can't uncounterably Titan next turn without more help. So this gets Sacred Foundry. I think they'll try to Titan next turn. But they can't do it uncounterably without like a lot of other stuff going on, so I don't... Cavern. Okay. So I don't care about Dryad. And they shouldn't be able to Titan uncounterably. If they have Garen Break, they can cast a Titan. I think that's going to end up being too slow for them. Especially without an amulet, right? What the hell? Oh, they're just... Okay. Alright, we got to get a little bit lucky here. This is the challenge. Serra's Emissary has been my opening every single hand this game, right? Alright, I have to mulligan this. I have no interaction. Okay, this is the best possible hand, basically. So, Mord would bottom a land here. But thinking about the curve... I really want to keep the Prismari Command, but that's probably the thing to ship. I really want to keep this Prismari Command. So it's like, if they have like Grazers and Karoos, then Fire Ice really helps. It's just all going to depend on what kind of draw they have, right? It might be better. It might be the correct choice to bottom the land. It's just like, if I miss, it's like really disastrous, right? I don't think I'll miss. Especially not if I cycle the Fire Ice. Okay, I'm bottoming the Fire Ice, but I want it to be known that if they have like a Grazer heavy hand, then this is really bad. I'm very comfortable with the decision I made, and if I lose, we lose. Okay, this could be Grazer, could be... Okay, it's going to be Amulet or nothing. Amulet. Okay, that's great. I would just shove. I mean, it could be, right? I'm not worried about it, but it's like, it's true, right? Like, these are the decisions we make all the time. All right, we hit nothing but lands. Oh, yeah, I mean... It's not like... It's not uncommon either, Bison. Yeah, I know, Kyle. I obviously by, what do you call it? Confirmation bias. You are correct. Ice wouldn't help me here anyway. I actually want to see them go land Amulet. Sorry, I'm just really nervous right now. How do I feel about my Titan matchup? It's generally fine. Certainly can thrash me, and I can certainly thrash them. Yup. Alright, well, if they got the Titan, they get the Titan. But no Amulet. Yeah, that's almost definitely what's going to happen, Nicholas. We may have to YOLO a creativity. Okay, this is helpful because it means even though they're tightening this turn, then their mana is going to be more limited next turn. Yeah, we can be set up in a really good way here. So this just depends on how good the rest of their hand is. So they can go up to 8 mana next turn. So if I find Teferi or Jace, putting the Titan back in their hand means we don't get Titaned again. I think they're picking up the squad. So YOLO time. I don't need to take an extra point of damage. So we flip into Emissary. I need to name land. They still have to pay for their pack. Talaria's in their hand. Is Emrakul better than Emissary to hit? Yes, because it ends the game. If I just put in Emissary, Kaya, they can get over it eventually. And it's not even going to take them that long, right? We won't be getting both. I don't think. Or I have enough mana, but I don't have enough targets. I can kill their Titan with the creativity, as well as flip in a creature off my deck. And that honestly might be the play, because there's like a chance it hits like a Grazer. So on our side, we're 50-50 YOLOing, unless I draw the Emissary now. If you hit a Titan, you die. I'm not sure that I do. So the only decision to make right now is like, am I going to creativity their Titan or not? They have 3 Titans in their deck, as well as like 11 other creatures. Grazers, Azusa, Dryad, gets Boros and Double Strike land. Well, the thing is, like, Azusa and Dryad aren't necessarily like safe. No, there's nothing that's safe. There is no safety here. Am I shooting the Titan? If I shoot the Titan, they hit a Titan, they get 2 triggers out of this Titan. If I shoot the Titan and they hit anything else, I think I'm in better shape. So I'm going to do it. Let's see what happens. You know, I'm not afraid. Oh yeah, I forgot they can hit artifacts. Thank you, Urza's Saga. Hello. Name's Bruce. They said if they had hit the second Titan, they would have won. But there's a lot of junk in their deck. A lot. Praise Randy. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something, I mean, they can technically survive the turn, right? That That's a draw. I mean, we shooted at our shot. What? I can't talk right now. I don't think that it was so. Even forgetting about all of the junk artifacts that are in their deck, I think that was 100% the correct choice, right? I didn't throw away my shot. Yeah, Larynx. We did it. We're here. Oh, Coco Lopez. Blue-white control. Hand's okay. Prefer to have a turn 2 Wrenn and Six, but we'll be okay. And just draw into it. The rest of the hand's more than good enough. Fetch shock on 1 to play hard evidence? Yeah. Yeah, I definitely do, because if they have a chalice. I saw them on someone else's channel today at some point playing blue-white, so yeah, they're just playing like stock Azorius. Are they on Fire Ice? There was a pause there, but I don't... The list that was posted isn't. Let's get the music back on, I guess. Oh, there is no music. All right, we'll just put on my iTunes. You can't be scared, Moncton. You'll get over it. Deck's not for everyone. Even for me, I was like, when we switched off Velomachus, I was like, well, do I really want to play this anymore? And the answer was yes. They can't double counter here, which is why I'm playing Teferi rather than anything else, unless they're playing something really weird in their main deck. No, we don't remand because I'm locking a counterspell in their hand. I am going to downtick my Teferi immediately. They have a number of ways they could remove it. So the most common ways for them to punch through this are like still wins for me. This is Prismatic Ending. Do I want to spew a creativity here over the... Well, we'll see. I beat Living End today because a dwarf beat down Dimir for life. Eventually they furied my 1/1 shark and 3 dwarves. And then I killed them next turn by hard casting Serra's Emissary and then attacking and then Wrenn and Sixing them for 1 damage. So if they want to play Solitude here or... Oh no, it was... You are supposed to laugh. Me missing lethal is legendarily bad. They have Solitude stunts in an octave. So they have a flash creature. It's not free. It's not bad. It's just not free. I didn't mind Remand either, Dimir for life. The thing is, this turn cycle they might go Memory Deluge 7, in which case it actually kills the Deluge, which it's like middling use, I guess. This is what I saw coming. Oh, that's much worse. Yikes. So this turn I have to creativity to not die. Never found another Teferi, Wrenn and Six, Jace, or Nahiri. And I am 25 cards into my deck, so it is what it is. I do have a Prismatic Ending for this, and then creativity. So there's a chance. Creativity is also a kill spell. It flips them into a Solitude, which I guess I'm getting an Emissary, so that works for me. Maybe I should have remanded that. No. Well, that's annoying. Because my Raugrin Triome is in my graveyard, right? Where's the Ketria? Oh, it's just the Ketria. Okay, so this doesn't matter. So they have Counterspell +1. Serra's means they have to have Verdict, Planeswalker. If they have a Planeswalker, though, I end up in a really bad spot. Although I guess I can call Planeswalker on Serra's, and then they can't. They have to Verdict or play a Solitude, and Solitude's going to give me 7 life. Could it? So if they Solitude after I remand, I just die. Yeah, this is too tight. This is possible they don't have a second counterspell. Exactly, counterspell. So I can remand this. I think it's the right thing to do. I think it's the only thing to do. Yeah, if they have the out for this, I'm just dead. Okay. Well played. All right. So that's fine. We didn't draw particularly well. Yeah, we had a pretty medium minus draw. I think I drew 2 hard evidence and a 2 prismatic endings. No Wrenn and Six. Why?
Just give him one of these.
Thanks for the follow there. Play together live.
Ooh, hey, ooh.
Or play together live. Wrenn and Six. Bang. That's really bad. Not like this. Not like this. God damn you, Cypher. God damn you, Cypher. Okay, that'll be nice next turn. I like their mana base with the breeding pool. I think it's definitely how I'd want to be playing blue-white control right now. I really don't want to cast this Prismari Command like this. It's just card disadvantage, which well, that's annoying. I mean, I think the play is Wrenn and Six, even though I can't defend it with the Veil. If Wrenn and Six resolves, then we end up in a really good spot really fast. Because the question is which one of them is more relevant on the battlefield. And since they already have, and their mana is set up so well already, my colors were slightly bit. I guess getting Prismari Command for the extra color next turn. What am I getting beat up by here? I guess if they just jammed Teferi 5 into me. OPs hate him. Yeah. Alright. So Deluge. Let it go. No problem. Just Nahiri? I cast Nahiri, but then when they counter it, I'm not going to do anything about it, right? Like, I want the Flusterstorm and the Veil right now. Both of these cards are... I want Veil in case of Veto, Fluster in case of most other things. Yeah, see, they just pass here. I think I go Shock, make a Treasure, which obviously it's not a great play. Honestly, I would prefer to have just another fetch land, but... Veto, right? Yep. If they have their Fluster here, I guess that's no good for me. They only have 1. According to their last list, they're only... Looks like they're going to take this easy. Yes, you can. Can I? Did I screw up? Damn it, I probably screwed up. Sorry, Kaya. I usually don't screw up Fluster and Fluster. Can pay for 2 and stop 2. Shit, you're probably right. Fluster math is way too goddamn hard sometimes. That's a stupid, crappy excuse, and I'm not pleased with it. Yeah, I thought that's like the problem was that they could just pay. Like they had a ton of mana open, right? I'm not going to be able to understand it right now, Kaya. I have to stay where I am in this game. I mean, thank you, but it's just no way. I'm a flamingo. Okay. Alright, can't beat that. I mean, it's not even the free spells, right? Like, I played plenty of cheap stuff there. I interacted on the same, on the same level of efficiency. Alright, this looks over. It's gonna be, yeah. Alright, can't beat that. So usually this matchup is very easy, and the sideboard cards they had there were just way too good. Like, just ludicrous, but it's alright. Alright, we're against the end boss. We have nothing to fear but fear itself. Good hand. Mana Spike or Aspiring Symbol. They're both great, to be honest. Good man. Good choice. So he's got to have another discard spell or a K-Com here. So K-Com totally ruins me here, huh? There's no way in the world I play into that. I'll take the time. So next turn we go X3. Okay. Could X1 on the treasure. Yes. Yes, we could have. Absolutely. Good hand. Yep. Okay. I made the plays that get me here. Just draw perfectly. Oh, you mean the match? I don't think he has edicts in his sideboard of any kind. Oh, you mean to scoop me into top 8? Why would he? He doesn't have to. He wants the 8-0. He's streaming. Mans wants his 8-0. I don't have a problem with that. Maybe he'll kill me. Maybe I'll get knocked out of top 8. I don't think so, but it's definitely possible. I don't normally have to, but we're keeping this 100%. No shot that I shipped that. Take what you will. Okay. Yeah. Top decking like a boss. Fair enough. A little late, but I'll take it. Necromantia? Nope, Lurrus to hand. Okay. Well, nothing for Lurrus to get. Don't do it. Oh no. Deck doesn't want to lose. We got trashed by blue-white last round, and then that happened. Nade on Amulet Titan most recently, okay. That's their most recently performed deck. I don't know what they're on, but they could be on Amulet. Okay. So I don't need my land drop on 2. So let's... Oh, but I can't ice a fetch land. But no acceleration on 1 puts me in a much better spot. Okay. At some point this turn, you should play a Karoo. It'll be great. Don't have an Explorer or a Grazer or another Explorer or another Grazer. Oh. That's Titan next turn. There's literally nothing I can do to stop it. I can ice the Titan if they go to haste it. They have to pack for it. We ice the Titan. Yeah. I think so. I'm gonna put the 3rd mana in untapped to make it look the most that I have a piece of interaction that's not this. Jesus. Does Stasis say permanents can't untap or something goofy that I don't know about? Oh my god. Well, maybe they don't have the Titan. Oh! 18 mana right now. No. No. There's no way. No, they still have 3 land drops, right? Yeah. No, they have 2 more land drops. So they have another 12 mana. They have 2 unknowns in hand right now. They didn't make mana there. They don't have the Titan. No, they just don't have it. They would have been pooling mana if they had it.
Before the start of the rainy season.
I mean, do I ice and then creativity X1 and pray? Well, they kept the triple amulet, triple explore. It probably wasn't a triple explore hand, but do I have to just jam now, or can I wait one more turn? If I get Emrakul, I end the game next turn. If I get Emissary, I have to name land, but with this many amulets, they just get infinite Titans and just kill me. I think we're going to be passing it back here. Emissary does not do it here. I agree. It did not have the main phase fetch, but crap, they're going to see I don't have blue up. I think we're just praying, though. Like, we're honestly just praying they don't hit one of their 8 Titans. Unreal. We do the thing. We name land. And that's it. I do remember the time we named Tribal. I'm really hoping Nassif doesn't raid me, though. I mean, it would be really good for the channel. But I got kind of really nervous last time. They took a mulligan. I think I'm going to keep this. Turn 2 ice, turn 3 Teferi. Assuming I draw another land. Kybera Crossroads. So they have more white cards than usual? I guess. Uh-oh. Okay, this is one of the things I wanted to see, though. No. Oh, oh God. But no Explorer. And no Grazer. I don't think Ice is the plan anymore. I think Remand is better. Ice only denies them 2 mana. Remand could deny them more. Much more. 6. Although if they have a Karoo into Dryad, I can't Remand through it. They'll just double Dryad. But they won't be able to Titan afterwards, so... Not the end of the world. Yeah, no Pact is a little sad. That draw is huge. Oh shit. I think we play Ending and Wrenn and Six this turn. And then we Creativity X2 next turn. Yeah, I'm not... No. Because if I get a second white mana, I can't get the second dwarf. I won't be able to instant speed the creativity, but against Titan, it usually doesn't matter. I guess if they leave a single white up, they could path in response. So we'll see. It really depends on what they play this turn. If they like play Karoo pass, still get a 50-50 shot at Emrakul. And even the Emissary is not bad. They must have something better than just Karoo pass. They must have some spell. They have to. I don't think they would be tanking here for no reason. Do I have thoughts on banning 3 Teferi in Modern? Ban a whole bunch of other stuff at the same time, then you can ban Teferi 3. Otherwise, he's fine. You ever tried playing Teferi 3 against Burn? Well, this is scary. I don't have a Patreon, but I do have a living sideboard guard that is not super alive yet, but...
Before the start of the rainy
so
season.
now
And
I
remember,
can
a
Teferi
shiny
them
new
back.
donkey.
Yeah, I'm working on the sideboard. Wait, I just Creativity X2 here. It's over. They have to pay for the Dryad. There's no way... Okay, we got it. We should get it. I can't imagine they play through this. Yeah. There's no way they can put in like 30 power in Titans here. I don't think so. Trying to figure out how they can go from here to the board. The easier thing is just to like go. Just oh, shouldn't I be choice of play draw? I'm keeping this hand. I know they're not a hammer, are they? No, they're gonna be on like Luris Black or something like that. But I'm gonna keep this. Esta es gasolina. Yeah, they're on Luris Black. No choice on MTGO. Okay, makes sense. Yikes! Just have to be as lucky as I was against Spike. That's all there is to it. It's very, very simple. There's no trick to it. It's just a simple trick. Oh, they're not on Grixis, are they? Oh, no. Oh, Lord. Oh, my God. Well, at least I drew the second Wrenn and Six. Black-red Luris into Grixis Luris. Oh, out of the whole top 8, I don't think they're going to be a worst possible set of matchups. This is fine. I mean, we're not dead or anything. It's just really, really bad. Wrenn seems good here. Again, like, Wrenn's fine, but I have to uptick. Can you imagine if we got to be on the play like I should have been, though? The keyboard track is Oh, it's just loud. Sorry about that. Audio levels. Which matchups is the deck looking for? The specific problem with the black-red Luris decks is they have cheap, plentiful interaction, including discard spells. That's what, like, anything that you could describe vaguely as a tempo deck or, like, a deck that has incredibly fast tempo is dangerous. No, one black-red and one Grixis, Jig. The Spike was not playing blue. On the play, we would have been totally fine in this game. They're disrespecting the Wrenn and Six, though. They might have another discard spell, though. And unfortunately, my mana has just been too loose. Oh, no, they're not. See this stuff? Yeah. Unholy Heat. I'm just dead here. I can't interact anymore. I kept a bad hand and we're getting punished for it. It's fine. It's usually 0 copies of Counterspell, Nicholas, but they have a Croxa they can get back to. You know what? Let's just let them have it. I don't need to mess around here. There's a high number of modern decks that are playing companions. That is a fact, but I don't know if they're on Shadow or not. Sunset Revelries are, yeah, they're really mostly for burn. Rest in Peace is bad. Rest in Peace should not be bad here against their DRC Croxa Drown in the Lock deck. I'm willing to concede that there are games where Rest in Peace won't be good, but it doesn't mean you don't board it. Yes, I'm aware it kills my Wrenn. That's an acceptable loss. That's why I cut one. Wrenn and Six doesn't normally stick here anyway. Why do you want Typhoon? It's an uncounterable way to create a token, and sometimes you just hard cast it and they can never ever remove it. It's not likely, but it's better than a lot of the alternatives. Hey, it's Fire Shoes. I don't know you as Fire Shoes. I know you as Robert something, who is at Fire Shoes. Yeah, I know. No. Well, they can't take the Fire Ice, which is great. Wrenn and Six is a gut shot with a Fog attached. Yeah, or it draws you a land, right? It's okay. People can talk. People can ask questions, guys. It's all good. I don't think I'm going to win this hands, but that's okay. It's fine. Like, I made top 4. Really happy about it. I got very, very lucky in places. We're not so lucky with the matchup here. That's fine. No matter what happens at the end of this match, I had a great day. Wear Croxa dress down if they're on Shadow. Sure. Yeah, we got good vibes here. Land? Oh. Jig. Just take the draw here. Good draw. Okay. Good draw was good. Why didn't you ice on upkeep? I couldn't imagine anything that they would play there that icing would actually stop that I needed to do. I don't know how to manage the new ad settings. The ads breaks. Okay. Control draws we should normally win. Inquisition. They take one of the 2 creativities here, then I cycle fire. Hopefully they don't play a fetch land after this. Let's draw any fetch land. Not like this. Not like this. There we go. 2 pair. Fire Ice is a 4-drop in every single zone except the stack. Okay, that's the one we wanted. Do they have an edict that they can dig to? Sudden edict? Let's go. Let's go! Let's go! For those who have been around a long time. Bobble. Do they have a 2-mana edict, or are they just taking game actions while they're behind on clock? Are they going to be like my opponent in paper? Twiddle. Protection from colored spells? Oh, right. They saw one more card in my deck. They saw one more card in my deck. It was technically correct. They can dress down the Annihilator, but they die. They were at, what, 14? 15? Yeah, like... technically, yes, but... We'll go with one Flusterstorm. One Flusterstorm for luck, y'all. Twitch chat luck. Hard evidence good on the draw versus monkey decks. It's okay. I mean, we're definitely keeping this one. It's not great, but it's a 7-card hand that's playable. Yes, I am aware we can't, ending on 1. They mulled to 6. They got the monkey. We got a Fire Ice. We can ping it on 2. Alright, like, we have plenty of stuff here. Hopefully they play DRC and, like, Inquisition. We just fire and blow them away. Perfect. They don't have the Thoughtseize follow-up. We're going to blow them away here. Guess they could have Bolt upstairs. Note you lost 1 mind, thank you. So if they have an instant, maybe they keep the DRC, but I don't think there's any way in the world you don't go for this play. Yeah, there's a bunch of stuff they could have, but there's just no way I'm going to play around all of it right here, right now.
Double kill.
Okay. I don't think that was greedy at all, Glory Banger. That was pretty much exactly how they should sequence that turn. It's just not something that comes up that often that could happen to you. It just doesn't happen. Yeah, I know hands. I just not right now. They took the creativity. I don't know what that means. We're going to cycle one of these Shark Typhoons for 0. Thoughts on Maze-Base cycle to hit Mountain? Yeah, I probably should have done that. You're good call. Good call. That would have been probably better. Ragavan. No dash. So they're holding interaction. Ragavan. Okay. I am not jamming. It's way too easy for them to have the blowout. We're not jamming, chat, and it's fine. We're not jamming, chat. It's fine. You guys hear it? Everyone, are we all cool? Are we all clear? Jam? No. No shot. It'll be great. Why no kill? Triple iteration. Goodness gracious. Can we peanut butter? Absolutely. My brain did the switchy switch thing. Yeah, they can burn clock. It's their clock. Are we expecting Spell Pierce? I'm expecting anything and everything. There is nothing, no piece of Grixis colored interaction that's cheap that I couldn't imagine them playing. Flusterstorm, Spell Pierce, Mystical Dispute. It's all possible. And I hopefully have some ability to play around some of it. Disfigure? Yeah, Disfigure.
Compadres of Colonel Montoya.
Good draw. You know what we do, Larynx? You know what we do, Larynx? No, we're not going to X2. We're going to ending their treasure. We're going to end their treasure. End the treasure. Creativity X1. I'm not expecting force. No shot. No shot in the world that they have force. There's no way. Nope. No chance. I'm not playing around it. I'm not playing around it. We can hit Emissary here. They're at 5. Okay. Yeah, we just go main phase 1. So if it's Emissary, we name instant. It's not. Dragon's Rage Chandler suicides into Emrakul. Gutshot. Yeah, Gutshot's a card. They say GG's. I think I'm in the finals. How's this better than X2? Because Spell Pierce. Yeah, I understand, Canister. It's just like, okay, you go write your song, and then we'll compare. Is it perfect? No, it wasn't perfect. So in the main deck, I only have 3 Remands that really interact with them. But Ice into this hand might be good enough. I honestly can't afford to mulligan a million times. So. Well, like, what do you want me to do? It's a good song. I put together a whole video. Like, I'm proud of the work I did on that. No, not everything is completely perfect, but like, yeah, it's like Teamer Living End. I love it. Thanks for sticking around, folks. Again, win or lose, I don't care anymore. We had an amazing day. We're in the freaking finals. There's no losing here. There's no losing here. Jam Wrenn, should have. Huh. Nope, just not paying attention. No, thank you, Canister. You're a wonderful human. Yeah, so punt. I was worried so much about them icing me into, I don't know. Yeah, okay. The guy in the video is strange. Sure is. The weirdo. Yeah, I know, King. I know what their deck. I know exactly what their deck is and how it's intended to work. I just have a very difficult ability. Like, it's just not a great matchup. Punting in the finals, not surprised. I know me. Although the way I won in the Swiss was by them whipping on lands, because they don't have as many cyclers. So I never saw that in the Swiss, not once. Yeah, see, they missed on land again. This is what happened in the Swiss. This is exactly what happened in the Swiss. This is the top 8. I think we could say this is the top 8. Perfect draw. So now they can force my Wrenn. I still have the ice. Should have had the Wrenn earlier. I fucked up, but I'm not going to worry about it. We need to set up for Serra's Emissary hardcast, potentially. I want to start needling them with a dwarf now, though. Titanith Rex. Yeah, that's a card. Dwarf beatdown will never work here, but yeah. Stamp? Sure. Okay, that's not a Remand. We're looking for a Remand deck. The card I want is called Remand. Prismari Command? Prismari Command would also be fine. Yeah, I should have screwed up. I should have gotten the Wrenn and Six earlier. Well, the ices aren't irrelevant at all. It's not new, John Star. It was someone played it at least a month ago, but it's not as popular. That's for sure. This is the same person I played at Swiss. Will be popular now. It was again. They top 8'd before, I think. Yeah, like they won a challenge. Like, it wasn't popular after that. I think there's a reason that some people... Do you naturally discard the Emissary here? I don't think so. I can cast it pretty soon. So if they have Outburst, they can Living End in response to my ice. There's nothing I can do about that. Just need them to be on Shardless and not draw another land. They do play main deck Endurance, yes. Whole bunch of copies. Yeah. I mean, there's tons of stuff that gets us here, but... Yep. I do Gab Hell Thale. It's not done yet, but it's on the way. So we can draw Creativity here, and then they have the Living End again. No, they don't. Still. Or sometimes you just draw badly. This is gonna get me the planes, huh? Yeah, I screwed up my sequence. Oh. So I can put Emrakul in and Bolt Fury. Emrakul blocks Titanoth. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright. The better way to do it, though, is off a clue token. Then I can also have another blocker. Yeah, we're going to cast Evidence, don't worry. Mom's coming. So, if they have Force here, we're in trouble. Nope. Might steal this one. Bolt Fury now. I don't even need to anymore, so I don't really want them to know that I have it until... I think that makes sense. Stomp. Okay. So they're going to try to push the kill here, but they're not going to be able to. Going to 2. Going to 2. Ending the 4-drop and they sack everything to Spaghetti or that. I have another land, so I need... Hold on. If they have a Force, I want to be able to do both things. Can I do both things? Good. This fetches... The island is still in my deck. We can still do both things. Island's in the deck. White, blue, red, green. I don't think it matters which one I bounce. Would have forced Bolt if they had it. Didn't I Bolt on their turn? After they played 2 2-mana spells? Am I wrong? No. The children who are wrong. Trigger. Back in a second. Thank you for the endless number of follows. Again, I don't need to win to... Wrenn seems weak. Wrenn is not weak. Although maybe I cut one Wrenn. Yeah, we can keep... We could probably keep some endings because of all of their chonkers. I think I did that last time I played against them. What do I want to ending? Some of their 3-drops. Endurance. Bone Crusher. No, Endurance, Kaya. Sometimes they turn 3 in Endurance and just kill you with it. Maybe Bolt is better. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But I also know we can't keep this. Prismari is basically just good in every match. Yeah, I don't think you can keep this, though. That's the hand! If there was going to be a keep, it's going to be this one. We drew one land. We're on the way. No. That's the thing, King Ghidra. Their shitty backup plan is good. They have more slightly less shitty mid-range creatures. Exactly. They have a lot more 3 and 4 drops. All right, kill relatively fast. Holy yikes. We are Larynx. I don't want to get iced off of it. Again, I don't know exactly what they're going to have, but like... Yeah, Bone Crusher... Bone Crusher is a house, I mean... Again, we had an amazing day. We are up a game. People don't need to worry so much. Let's just chill out, play a good game. Stomp stops Emissary. Sort of. They have to stomp their own creature or their own face if I have it on instant. Oh, this is okay, Larynx. Would I like to land there? Me too. We're not in a fine spot, but we're not much worse. We chillin'. Like, this is fine. It's rough. It's rough to watch, but it's really not that bad. All right. Yeah, we have lots of ways to get Emrakul out of the hand. So if they have Violent Outburst, they can outburst no matter what right now. So, okay. So now we have a plan. It's not a great plan, but I've seen worse. The number one card I can't beat is Stomp. Part of the problem right now, though, is their beatdown's a little bit too fast. They're going to kill me a turn ahead of where I need... I agree, Drew. The problem with that is, like, if they... Yeah, I mean, there's just 1.5 million things that beat me on that. I think it's the only way. So for clarity, I can fetch Shock for Flusterstorm or Veil. No, we just don't have any other lines. The Endurance was too quick. Yeah, there's nothing else we can do. I could have attacked them for 1, but... And then if they had a flash creature with reach... Yeah. So I can't beat that. Okay. It's just really, really difficult to sideboard correctly against that deck. They because of the range of different hands that they can have. And vice versa. I mean, I'm sure it's not easy for them. They have counters? Yeah, some kind of. Have I seen Force in any of my games? I don't think so. It does seem like it would be hard for them to have Force. Ketria on 1? We're probably well... Do they play Fire Ice? Because if they play Fire Ice, I can't do that. Cherish our mana base. The mana base is one of the worst parts of the deck, but it's as good as it can be, and I've played it a lot. Can Veil Ice? Yeah, but then my colors get all screwed up. Like, the problem here is I don't have a second blue. They don't play Fire Ice. Might have wanted to lead on mine there. It's possible. I'm getting the Triome. All right. Yeah, we're probably okay. Okay, we'll play the mine here. So we can upkeep Ice here. I just like that it's got a kicking baseline. Not jamming Tef because of Force. Well, because of Mystical Dispute, Force, Spell Pierce, everything. I don't think that's wrong. Not Spell Pierce. Fine. Mystical Dispute. All the other things. So if I Veil, they can still dispute. I have a second Teferi. No, I think we let this go. We just do it again next turn. Yeah, it's fine. They would want to dispute first. I don't always know. People do weird stuff. People do weird stuff with things like that. No red is their problem right now, I assume. I think I'd rather have Teferi right now. So Teferi right now means they could go Endurance and Response, and then we have to bounce it, and then they could have Fury, but like, we're doing this thing. Yeah, okay. This is what I expected. Yeah, we send it back. So they could have Fury into yikes, but they can't Living at us here. Please, Petty Theft. Oh, okay. That's a great sign. Okay. I would like to draw a land. Rip feels fine right now. It's not, guys, it's not over. They have a freaking Endurance in their hand right now. There's an Endurance in their hand right now. That's going to be a problem. That's later Zach problems. Yeah, I'm going to one big pin. Well, we have to deal with the Endurance that they're going to cast here. So we remand this. Next turn we plus Teferi, and then we can minus it on whatever they play. It's not great, but it's the finals. We're in the finals right now. Yeah, we're playing Jace. Just trying not to pun the entire thing. That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to Jace look for a land drop and or creativity. Anyone like Island Hard Evidence here? Island Hard Evidence? They Blood Moon, we just pass the turn back to them and instant speed creativity. Oh, I've already plus the Teferi. Yeah, I can instant speed it. Did not need to do this. Guys, don't scream. Don't cry. It's okay. I already upped the Tef. I already made the fetch. I already made the mistake. Don't worry about it. Yes. We're good. Yeah, this is fine, though. I don't need to Fluster. As long as we don't draw Emrakul or Emissary, which we could do even. I did just put this back in the deck, by the way. Yeah, Brainstorm Bug. No, we're going to X2. Sorry, guys. Sorry, folks. I just really... Oh my god, I was supposed to put that like the Emissary. It's fine. Emrakul's lethal anyway. It's fine. Emrakul's lethal anyway. Nothing matters. We have lethal anyway. It's fine. Yeah, I mean, we could end a turn Emrakul. We could combat the Emrakul. Like, nothing matters anymore. Sorry, just a lot of stress. Found lethal. Yay! I mean, they can't Living End right now. They're casting Bone Crusher, aren't they? Yeah, that's not good enough. No grab attack. So we just unsummon that. We're there. It's over. I'm not gonna cry. The art on creativity is absolutely amazing. Oh god. No, I can't move it! So, tiny bottle of champagne. Thank you, chat. You should drink your champagne out of a coupe.
Shh.